Here on the field with head coach Jack Wright from Fulton after a big win against Itawamba. Jack, your overall impression of tonight? It was a good night, I think.
Good night. I think the thing that stands out is offensive efficiency. That's the one kind of the theme for the night, and very, very pleased with that side of the football. On third downs is kind of what stands out. Just not having a chance to watch the film. The one thing that stands out is I think we had a lot of success on third down, so that's really good.
I think 8 of 13. We're going to see. I talked with Pat McQuaide. He converted some long third downs in the first half by using his feet, getting out of the pocket and improvising. So y'all were able to do that. I think you were like a couple yards shy of 300 yards, 30 of 38 passing. You're also able to run for 157 yards. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's tough to run the ball in this league. The talent on the defensive front has always made it tough. So breaking 100, that feels good. We had 3 or 4 different guys run the football tonight. I think that's very important. That we're going to need all of those running backs before the end of the year. So them being able to get into the game tonight, getting some quality reps was extremely important.
Yeah, you talked about last week trying to make sure you got more guys into the game. Thought this might be an opportunity to do that, and you were able to do so. Defensively, what did you see from the Regulators tonight?
We were caught a little bit off guard. They did some things differently than they did in the first game. They had a very, very athletic quarterback, and he made some plays with his feet. Not something we saw on film from last week. So that made it tough on us. We came in with a certain plan to stop what we had seen on film, and then we had to adjust. It was a lot different, and I think we did that. The quarterback did make some plays with his feet. That's tough stuff to defend when you're rushing so hard and play with great effort. It's a little bit of a misdirection play, when he takes off. So you got to give their quarterback credit for making some plays. But our kids' fault, I think we played everybody on our defensive side of the ball tonight. So we've got to continue to do that and gain confidence and gain depth. But a lot of good athletes over there.
One of the reasons why the quarterback was having to run so much, the Regulators sacked him 7 times, so he's kind of running for his life a lot tonight. I didn't realize that we had sacked him 7 times. That's an incredible number. I remember seeing Coppagel in the backfield some. Scott Burton, I think, had a good game. Ricardo Williams, I think, had a really good game. John Brown, just a really solid group. And we've got 10 to 12 guys that roll in, so we've got to continue to do that and have all of those guys help us. I thought if there was one thing you probably, were most pained by, had some turnovers, and the score could have been even worse if we'd held on to the ball.
Yeah, we had a couple of fumbles, very disappointing. We stressed ball security a lot. I don't think we had any fumbles in the first game, so coming in, that was kind of something that was disappointing. But what that's going to happen in football, man. We're going to create turnovers, and we're going to give them a couple. I think we did a good job as a team of kind of overcoming it. I think they scored off of one of them. It wasn't a short field, though. They had a good drive. We were able to overcome, those couple of mistakes. So very good there. It's not always going to go your way. You're going to have some bad things happen, like turnovers and big plays by the other team. But you got to fight through those. So I think we learned a lesson there.
You guys going to have to drive like 2.5 hours up to Meridian and then come back to Perk next week to get ready to play a football game for the first time at home?
Think about last year, Don. We went on the road 2 homes and 2 Northeast to start out. This year we start out at Northwest and Itawamba. So the schedule makers the last 2 years have not cut us any breaks. We're kind of some road warriors now. The thing that I like is, if we do have to go play a long road game somewhere down the road, we've done it. We know the process, and we're veterans at it. So you just learn from experience. But getting a win on the road like this is not an easy accomplishment. I don't think people realize this is college football. They've got good players. It's a long way from home. There's more to just going between the lines and playing football. There's a way that you got to carry yourself and travel, and I'm proud of our kids for doing it like a pro.
Got Southwest next week. I know you haven't looked at any film of it, but what do you know about them?
They had a big win versus Delta. Don't know much about those guys much yet, but obviously we'll spend a lot of time, watching the film and trying to get acclimated to them. But, I think they've got a really good team. Coach Collins has been there a couple of years, and I think this looks like they're turning a corner, and we'll have another tough opponent on our hands.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you, Don.
Here on the field with Drake Thornton, the sophomore linebacker. Drake, big win for y'all tonight. What does it feel like to get the first W of the season?
Honestly, it feels great. We worked really hard throughout the week. We put in a lot of time into watching film, a lot of time into going over the plays that they ran, and it was just a really great team experience. We got to come together. We came together, we stayed together, and we just drove down the field and did what we could.
I know last week's a tough loss to bounce back from, but I heard all week that y'all were super positive and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had to take that loss. You know, we played as hard as we could. You know, and we were really confident. We was really happy with the way we played. There was mistakes that we had to fix. We have a lot of young guys, and it was just a long trip. We played our heart out though, and we just had to keep moving forward. You know, every week it's 1-0. We got to restart. 1-0.
Regulators had 7 sacks tonight. How are y'all able to get in the backfield so consistently?
Oh, it's just, we're regulators. Mount up. It's what we do, you know. It's a strong defense. We're confident. We trust each other. We do our jobs. It's great.
You went 37-13. I know Coach Schufelt will be talking about the 13 you gave up. So you guys got some things you can clean up next week, don't you?
Yes, sir. We'll be hearing that at practice and film. We're definitely going to clean that up this week, and we're looking forward for the next game against Southwest.
What will it mean to be back at home for the first time?
It's a great feeling. There's nothing like playing at home, especially in Parkinston. The crowd there, the fans, there's just nothing like it.
All right. Congratulations, Drake.
Thank you.
Here on the field with freshman quarterback Pat McQuaide, first W of the year. It's got to feel good for you guys.
Yeah, it feels great, definitely, especially coming off a loss last week. You know, it was a tough game, and we did some really good things, but ultimately we lost the game, and the standard here is to win. So we had a good week of practice. We did a good job. Guys did a really good job in the film room, in classroom, handling that stuff, and on the practice field, and came out here against a good Itawamba team and got it done. So.
I think you were like 25 of 30 for 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. What was working for y'all tonight?
I think just getting our guys in space. I mean, the guys that we have on offense are really explosive, and they're really hard to bring down. So the offensive line did a great job last week, and they did a great job tonight of giving me time to throw and getting the ball into the hands of the guys that play around me is just the key. I mean, they're hard to bring down, and we showed that tonight. So.
Y'all were able to convert a couple 3rd and longs when you got flushed out of the pocket. What are you trying to do in those situations?
I think it's just kind of like instinct, make a play and just see what happens. I mean, it's all about getting the defense in tough positions and making them make a choice. Do they want to come and try and tackle me, or do they want to stay in coverage? So luckily the receivers did a great job of sticking with the play and giving me options, and they did a great job all night of keeping plays alive and finishing them.
I think y'all ran for about 150 yards. That's got to make your job easier.
Yeah, for sure. The big boys up front love running the ball. They ask for it all the time. Just hand it off. So to run for 150, like you said, that's great. I mean, feeding Cam and Xavier, and we got a bunch of backs in tonight, and getting those young guys carries is huge for the team and huge for those guys' confidence moving forward.
You're going to play your first home game in Perkinson. What are you expecting next week?
I mean, from everything I've heard, it's an electric atmosphere, and it's an incredible place to play. I've been told it's the best place to play in the South. So I'm incredibly excited being from Ohio. I mean, I don't know anything about it, so I'm fired up to get back home and play in front of our crowd and our fans.
We may have to go ride the bus 2.5 hours away and back to get y'all back in sync after these last couple of weeks, but it feels good to get the W tonight.
Yeah,
congratulations.
for sure. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.